Are you tired of looking like this after a night on Prizepicks? For the price of that Big Mac combo you chowed down on this week, get access to hundreds of picks. Connect your Discord to WAP with the link in the description and be added straight to the premium Discord. We'll be sending every single Prizepicks slip we place.
Let's get some Prizepicks in today, guys. Last night's picks went 3-3. Not much to say here. I mean, none of these stacks actually hit. Another night of unlucky stacks. So Vassell and Zach Collins, what I was going for here, both on the unders, but only Vassell cashed under. Same concept with Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and same with Brandon Ingram and Herbert Jones. I also recommended Zach Collins under assists with Keldon Johnson under points, and only Zach Collins went under his assists, and Keldon Johnson went over his points. So stacks were not working yesterday. We'll get into the board for today. We move on, and I have some more stacks, of course, but this time hopefully they actually go in the right direction together. And the first one right here you're going to see is DeAndre Hunter on the over 14.5 points. He has been doing pretty well since he came back, and I just love this guy, honestly, on his props. You can see 12 out of 23 times he has went over this 14.5 mark. I do think it's a decent spot. There's not too many bad beats here. You could see one time he just went straight over that by 0.5, and one time he went right under that at 14 points. But you can see the line was actually set at 13.5 this night. So he does pretty much clear these lines. You can see how many times he goes right above 1, but it's rare that he's going to go under. If he's going under, he's normally getting 12, 10, 9, 7 points. You can see all on here, right? So we're going to go over for that 14.5. You can see I have him with DeJounte Murray because that is who we're going to be pairing with him on the over 4.5 assists. And just look at this beautiful graph. On the over 4.5, it seems a bit low, honestly. 15 out of 23 times he has cleared this over 4.5 assists. These are the games with Hunter, but of course they've only played like 25, 27 games. So this is pretty much most of the 2023 season, and he clears this over 4.5. Even down here, when his lines was set at 5.5, he was clearing that at least 5, right? So I really like this pick. So on top of the fact that Murray clears this line with ease, I paired him with Hunter because these guys also just seem to be going in the same direction quite often. See, when there's green and there's red, there's green and red on the other side, except these first like 7 games. Murray was just popping off. But normally when there's red chunks here, you could see the 26 at the Boston game up to Milwaukee. There's a bit more red here for Hunter too. And then of course when there's green, there's green. Anyways, I counted how many times they actually cleared the line together, and it was 15 out of 23 times, or about 65%. So not only do you have DeJounte Murray who clears this line alone 65% of the time, we're also pairing him with someone where they clear the line together 65% of the time. So it's looking like a very strong start to the prop. We're going to go with DeJounte Murray here on the over 4.5 assists. And I forgot to mention the juice here. So on Hunter, we do have some juice towards that over 14.5. You could see a couple books have him at minus 120 here, and minus 125. FanDuel is the only one that kind of has him at that 50-50. No really favorite towards the over or the under. But we're going to go with the other books who do have him on the over. And this general consensus is slight edge towards the over. Now for Murray, on the other hand, there is a lot of juice towards over 4.5. I'm surprised Prizepicks has not even bumped him to 5 yet. As I showed you guys, this line does seem too low, right? 15 out of 23 times he's clearing that. At 5, you know, it's a bit more fair. Let me just show you guys. At 5, he's pushing that a couple of times, right? So I'm surprised Prizepicks does still have this low. So take advantage of it while it's still there. You can see DraftKings, PointsBet, and Caesars all have him at minus 123, minus 140. Even BetMGM and FanDuel have him minus 122-ish. So good juice on Murray. And on top of that, we have a very small spread. So tight game here, minus 3. Pretty much even game versus the Houston Rockets here. So I'm expecting a lot of minutes. Hopefully no one's getting benched. Of course, when the spreads are lower, less likeliness for blowouts, meaning the starters are playing more minutes. That's exactly what we're going for. DeJounte normally clears that assist prop pretty early, but we're really relying on Hunter here to cash that 15 points. So that's going to be the first stack we're going with. And we're going to go into a second one right away with Luka Doncic on the under 10.5 assists. This is another line that might get bumped. I'm just warning you right now. We did flag this on OddsJuice as a positive expected value play. Under 10.5 assists, minus 121 juice, so 55% likeliness to hit. Now let's take a look at Doncic's assists on props.cash, and you could see he really doesn't clear this line. I mean, he's cleared it 5 times this season in 25 games. Very heavy juice towards the under 10.5. BetMGM has all the way at minus 140, FanDuel minus 122. PointsBet and DraftKings seem to have him around 50-50, but Caesars also has him 148. And as I said, this is positive expected value because kind of take the calculations of the sharpest sports books, and we did find that Doncic under is favored. So we're going to be going with that on the prop. And of course, you could see, I mean, 5 out of 25 times he has hit the over, and we're taking the under here. So it's perfect for us. Yes, this is with and without Kyrie, but even when we go without Kyrie, he has only cleared this 4 out of 9 times. So 44%. It's a very small sample size, but just to show it's not looking too good on that Doncic over 10.5 assists. On top of that, he does hook this at 10 quite often. You can see 3 times without Kyrie, and we're getting that 10.5. So I do like the fact that we're at least not pushing at 10. We're still winning, right? Is that his points prop is set at 36.5. I saw some sportsbooks have him at 37.5. I think Prizepicks has him there. Very high points prop. when you're getting a lot of points, like Doncic, yes, he does get triple doubles, he does get double doubles, but if he's dropping 37 points, 40 points, 45 points, it's very unlikely that he's also assisting the ball as much, right? If you're dropping 25 buckets, you're not passing the ball to people, you're playing on your own basically. So if Doncic is dropping like 40, 45 points, I could see him getting like 8, 9, 10 assists. But to really get 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 assists, it's going to be more unlikely if he is the one getting the bulk of the buckets in this game. And you can see it's pretty much him and Tim Hardaway Jr. that kind of carry the team in terms of points. So that is why I love the Doncic under 10.5 assists. You can see right away who we're going to be pairing with him. It's going to be Grant Williams on the under 9.5 points. You can see there is juice towards his under. That's on Bet365, but I'll show you just in general. There is general consensus towards that under. FanDuel, Caesars, PointsBet, BetMGM, DraftKings, they all have him juice towards that under at minus 125. Looking real nice. And again, this is without Kyrie Irving. He has hit this 4 out of 8 games, but Grant Williams doesn't seem to be affected too much by Kyrie, whether he's on or off the court. You can see in the whole season where games may include Kyrie or not. 11 out of 23 times he has went over this 9.5. Of course, we're grabbing the under. Juice on the under, plus about 52% of the time he has went under. So I do like that as the pairing with Doncic. On top of that, these guys have hit in the same direction 64% of the time, and it makes sense. Honestly, if Doncic is going under his assist, he's not feeding the ball to Hardaway, he's not feeding the ball to Grant Williams, and he's probably scoring a lot of the buckets, as I've just explained. So if we do see like a Doncic 45-point game, I really think these two are both going to go under together. Now, the last two picks are actually not going to be stacks, and the first one I want to start off with is Max Strus. So now this is an interesting pick because Donovan Mitchell is a game time decision. Of course, Garland is out for sure. And he is set at 4 on Prizepicks, not set at 4.5. So I'll just show you some games and some data that I went over. In 2023, he doesn't clear this line. Let's be real here. He doesn't clear this line. But a lot of these games, he has been playing with Donovan Mitchell, pretty much all of them, right? But if you just drop it down to 4, you could see a ton of pushes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pushes. So it is looking better for us at 4. And if you remove Donovan Mitchell, it's looking even better. He has cleared us 3 out of 5 times on the actual over. So it's not only pushing, it's actually cashing for us 3 out of 5 times. Of course, I could take out Garland too, but they've only played 1 game where he got 6 assists. So nothing too impressive there. But without Garland alone, you could see 5 out of 7 times where at least pushing this line, he only missed this in 2 games. So with or without Donovan Mitchell, it's not going to matter too much. I do think this is a good prop just because Garland is out. If Donovan Mitchell's out too, that's going to help even more. Now, the reason I'm taking it now is because if Donovan Mitchell is out, I do think they're going to bump it slightly to 4.5. So I'd like to lock it in now at 4 assists. I think it's a good pick whether Mitchell plays or not. So I might as well lock it in before it gets bumped. Also, you can see the sports books do have him at 4.5. Yes, that's really heavy juice. So minus 166 means very likely to go under that 4.5. But FanDuel has him all the way at 3.5 with heavy juice towards the over 3.5. We're getting him at 4. I do think it's a fair line, especially if Mitchell is out. I do think this is going to really turn in our favor. Now, normally I would pair Max Strus up with Jared Allen. Look where he's set at. I mean, 16.5 is very high for him. I don't think he's going to really clear this, even with Mitchell out, with Garland out. He's normally set at like 12.5, 13.5, 14.5 maybe. 16.5 is very high for him, and you could see he only cleared 16.5 5 out of 22 times this season. Yes, that's with Garland and Mitchell, but I mean, this is a very high line for him, even if they're both not playing. See, there is some juice towards the unders right now. BetMGM has him at 16.5 minus 130. DraftKings actually has him at 15.5. Actually, all the rest of the sportsbooks have him at 15.5. So if you want the under, I do recommend taking it now. The reason I'm not going to take it in this slip is because that's an inverse correlation. I don't want to take Max Strus over assists with Jared Allen under points. It doesn't really make sense in the sake of the same slip. In a different slip, if you guys want, I would take Jared Allen on under 16.5 points. Whether Mitchell is out or not, it doesn't really seem to matter. You could see they did clear this only once in the 4 games. And of course, that's not really a big sample size. You could also check without Garland. But again, it hasn't been much games, only 3 games. And he went over in that 1 game versus the Hawks. But I don't really want to go off that. It's impossible to say whether he's going to go over the 16.5 based on 4 games. But if Mitchell is playing, I do think this is honestly an amazing line. There's probably not really a better one. So maybe if you want to wait for the lineups, as soon as that lineup gets announced, maybe take his under 16.5, because I do think it's going to get bumped down, maybe even to 15.5 if Mitchell is playing. So take advantage of it right now. Even if Mitchell is not playing, I don't think it's going to move much. It's not like it's going to go up to 17 points, 17.5. Already 16.5 is quite high. So I do think it's a decent prop if you do want to get it in early now before the lineups are announced. Whatever you want to do, Jared Allen under 16.5 points is the play. So as I was going and throw Max Strus on the over 4 assists, of course Prizepicks loves reading my videos and they took him off the board. I assume they're going to throw him back on. Maybe they're waiting for Donovan Mitchell's status. I'm not sure. But when you're watching this, if Max Strus over 4 assists is there, and especially if Mitchell is out, definitely grab it. And same with Jared Allen. Let me see if Allen's there at least so I could grab his under. And no. So they took the Cavs players off the board, but in general, the thesis I'm going for is the same. I'm not going to be able to throw them in this slip, but we're going to get on to another pick instead. So for now, we're going to go with Bam Adebayo on the under 10.5 rebounds. I'm loving this. We flag this as positive expected value. Minus 134 juice, so even better than that Doncic pick. 57% likeness to go under that 10.5. And let me just show you guys on BAM here. So for sure, Jimmy Butler is out. We know that. Hero is in. Hero's back in the starting lineup. And basically with Tyler Hero, he's only cleared us 3 out of 8 times. Not much to go off of. But for those of you that are concerned that, okay, maybe Jimmy Butler is out, maybe Bam's going to get more assists, there's only been 3 games. Hard to go off of. But he's only cleared us 1 out of 3 times, or the over at least. So, right, we're grabbing the under. Tyler Hero, he's at 4 out of 8 times, or 3 out of 8 times, so even better there. And then in general, he doesn't clear it over 10.5 too often, 8 out of 17 times. So 53% of the time, we're getting that in our favor. And again, the juice on the sports books, minus 140, minus 120, and minus 133 on Caesars. PointsBet's the only one that has him at that 50-50, and BetMGM actually has him at 9.5. So looking really nice on that Bam under 10.5 rebounds. We're going to have to replace the Strus pick that I was going for. So we're going to go find another one. To replace the Strus pick, I'm going to be going over to the Sacramento game. And we're going to be going with Keegan Murray on the under 17.5 points. Loving this one too. He hooked this 1, 2, 3 times this season. And 5 out of 21 games, he actually went under that 17.5. And then the main reason I'm taking this is the juice. DraftKings has him at minus 140 on that 17.5. Caesars minus 129. And then the other sportsbooks have him at 16.5. So of course this line is way too high. Maybe not way too high, but definitely too high. So we're going to grab the under 17.5. And just in general, looks like a pretty good pick on a quick analysis. So we're going to go with Keegan Murray on under 17.5. As I said, if you want to go with the Cavs boys, wait till they're back on the board. But as of the time I'm filming this video, they are not up. So we're going to go with this instead, 80 into 2K.